Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's call our meeting to order. Madam Clerk, you want to give us the roll call?
Tom Duffy.
Here.
Jesse Betcher. Jason Weaver. Brian Bissonette.
Here.
Stacy Hessel.
Here.
So we have a quorum, thank you, and the certification compliance.
This meeting has been noticed to the public and news media as required by section 1924 of the Wisconsin statute.
Okay, and the meeting agenda has been set. Anybody have any additions or corrections today? If not, we'll move on to public comments. Anybody here that wants to be heard that's not on the agenda? So maybe on line? No. Okay, so let's consider then the minutes for the previous meeting. You all have copies of the meeting last month. We have a motion to accept those.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Brian?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Very well, they're carried. Okay, then moving on to the Surrey County Ag. Anybody here from Surrey County Ag? Stacy, anything new that you know about?
No, I think they're still planning to have an event in May or June to raise money before the fair, but that's all that I know for sure.
Okay, let's move on then to the University of Wisconsin. Sorry, you're on.
Morning. So next month is our month to provide a quarterly report for you. So there's nothing, no report is submitted to Lynn. And I told you last month that we have hired Donna, so she has now officially started with us, and lots of hats on for this meeting. So she is a 4-H and youth development educator, and still working for Winter Public Library as well. So she will come to this committee and say different things with different hats sometimes, but today she's here for the library and really don't have anything else to report to you, but certainly we'll answer any questions you have and written report next month.
Okay, thank you. We'll anxiously await your report next month. Okay, moving on to the Hayward Lakes Visitor Report.
Okay, I gave you my report on the fun that we had last week or week before for Berkey. We had Secretary Designee Ann Sayers here, and that was just so much fun because she was counting down a lot of the different starts. And I saw, Tom, did you see her on at the VIP dinner?
Yeah.
So we had her everywhere. It was really fun time, and she's given some great PR for our area.
Good.
Going to the governor's conference next week. Of course, been nominated for awards. So we'll see how that turns out. Trail Genius, he was here the same time Berkey was going on. He was filming silent sports, so we had a lot going on that week. And that is with that DOM grant, that destination marketing grant that I got for $89,000 is all silent sports or quiet sports or whatever you want to say, anything that doesn't have a motor. Sport shows, we're excited this year because we're back in action, and we've had a few shows that we've attended. Lacrosse was really good. We ran out of the number of guides that we've given out in the past. So people are eager to travel and they want to hear about what's going on. And we were in Madison, but I haven't got the update yet of that. And those are the rest of the shows that we've got registered or paid for the rest of the season. Website redesign is going really slow, but it's going to be really nice when we get it done. Looking for May 15th. We did a Hayward adventure also in February, and that was fat biking, cross country skiing, snowshoeing, and snowmobiling. And then I don't know if you guys ever heard of Mad Dog and Merrill, but they came here and did a cooking show. It was pretty fun because they tried to do Northwoods food. So they did little fish sandwiches. Then they made ice cream. He just went and scooped snow out of the and then they had some sausages that they pretended to log roll with. So it was kind of cool. So that aired February 6th, and 17.3% increase in website users that day. So that's kind of, we know that worked. And then some free PR that was in January, a little bit into February.
Any more sports shows, or are we all finished?
Yeah, those are here on that little.
Those are the ones we have.
Yeah, that's what we have left.
So how have they been received?
really well,
Yeah.
really well. We ran out at the lacrosse show and we ran out at the Madison show. So we brought what we always brought, and we ran out of that. So that's good news. So people are picking up our stuff. And still, the month of January, we handed out over 100 more vacation guides by mail, by people calling in. So they want our info, so hopefully they're coming.
Okay, anybody have any comments? Stacy, Brian?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on then to Northwest Regional Planning. Okay, economic development.
I'll give a short report on that. Right now, we're just trying to recruit new committee members. And then without a director at this time, we're trying to work with volunteers within our committees to get the jobs done that Mike did. So right now, we're just in a transition period, and we'll have more hopefully to report in April.
Anybody have any other comments? No, okay, let's move on then to library updates. And who wants to go first? The library.
I can go first. So I'm, of course, Donna Nucky, representing Winter Public Library. I submitted a director's report that gave all of the events that we are doing in February and then March coming up. And I could go through those by dates, but our biggest thing, we do a STEAM activity, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We do it's huge in our community, leprechaun trap contest. It sounds really silly, but families get engaged. Grandparents are creating leprechaun traps. They display them in the library and then the community votes on them. So it's a way of getting community into the library, but it's also like a fun activity that the kids are looking forward to do with family and bringing family involvement in and doing family activities together. And then I wanted to talk about a professional development opportunities that our library is doing for the staff. It's so nice now with so many things virtual that we're able to do more professional development. I know the libraries in Northern Waters participated in dementia training through the ADRC. It's been a while, a few years ago. So this month, the Wisconsin chapter of the Alzheimer's Association is providing mini workshops, really for caretakers, but there's a lot of items and a lot of topics that would be pertinent to the library staff providing or participating. We have a lot of caretakers that come to the library for materials and that utilize the library, as well as those that have onsets of dementia and Alzheimer's. So we thought that it would be good for them to participate. So they do this on their own. Most of the workshops are on during their daytime, so they're able to participate virtually and register. So I think that's the big thing. The other exciting thing, and I'm putting a plug out there, I've talked about at our, our whole group meetings about the problem we had with our water. We had like 55,000 gallons go through our basement last year, and we have a dirt floor basement. So we put into our capital expenditures account or budget to get our basement cemented. So the bid ads are out there. Please, if you know any construction companies that are laying cement, have them bid on our project at the library, because we have a hard time sometimes getting contractors to bid on projects for us. So anyways, we want to get that basement floor cemented so we can not have so many water problems.
Well, what kind of heat do you have down there?
We just have downstairs. We just have a furnace upstairs and it just blows. I mean, we don't use the basement for anything. It's a very old building and it's literally a loft ladder to get to the basement. There's no steps. You literally are climbing in a hole into the basement. We just need to get it cemented because everything bubbles up into the dirt floor, even with our vapor barrier. So.
Okay, well, thank you. Anybody have any questions from the committee? Stacy, Brian? Okay, thank you. Let's go on, Molly, to Hayward.
Okay, couple
Right.
things. Very similar to Donna. We have a leprechaun hunt that was a huge hit in the library last week. So, like mine's. And I also am in the process of writing a bid to replace the ceiling tiles over the circulation desk and in the children's room, because when we built the building, we were trying to get it done. So they've got very inexpensive ceiling tiles that do not absorb sound at all. So I did have a donation just before Christmas specifically for that. So again, it's really hard for me to find, I'm sure it's hard for everybody right now to find construction workers to do smaller jobs. So if anybody has any hints. There's a grant coming for us through Northern Waters, and I don't know how far down the road it is, but it will provide hotspots and laptops for the public. So I'm really excited about that. We'll get to check out hotspots to people who don't have the internet. So that's going to be a real help to the community. And I did send a copy of our annual report over. I have to make sure that our county clerk gets one. We've got a copy, right? We made one. And this lets you know how we performed last year. And I think the copy you have is clean, but I also wanted to send a copy where it showed the previous year's numbers, so you could see that things are getting back to normal. It's a huge relief after COVID. And then the last thing I wanted to tell a really cute story. A woman called us, and I think it was Thursday night. When was the courting? Friday? I think the court, yeah. So a woman called really frantic, and she said her son needed Wi-Fi because he had this big interview for college and to get a full scholarship. And she'd been calling over town and didn't know how to get him set up because he was going to take part in the courting also. So we got him set up with a little study room and all that. And they were supposed to be there at 12:30, and we were kind of waiting because our staff gets excited when we can help kids, you know, try to get to college and all that. So anyway, his name's Jacob Craig, and he was the winner of the men's class.
Oh, that's cool.
He's in high school, senior in high school, and their family was so nice, and he was like so tired, and he got in with 3 minutes before he could get on this huge interview thing. But afterwards, I got a picture taken with him, and we even offered him food and soda because we were worried about him getting through the interview. So it just made us happy, you know, that we could help out in that area.
Who writes your grants for you?
It's a combination. Northern Waters does some of the grants, like the one I was just talking about for the laptops and hotspots. But I do it. My assistant director has written smaller grants, and I believe the Library Foundation is going to be trying to do that.
So are there a lot of grants out there you can apply for?
Not for what we need. That's the problem, because grants are so specific. You know, it's hard to match it up with what you need at the time. But we're not going to turn down a grant if it's
And the grant for the computers fixed.
Pardon me?
Good that you're going to get this grant?
Oh, they're pretty sure that grant is in the bag from what Northern Waters
How
said.
much was that for?
It's enough that each Northern Waters library member will be able to get 2 hotspots and I think 2 laptops.
I think so.
So I don't know what the total amount is. It's a system grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, committee, any questions? Stacy? Ryan?
Oh, I do have one more thing to add.
Sure.
I'm sorry. We start opening on this Saturday. And I wanted to thank Stacy for encouraging me to go ahead and pursue that. So this will be a good help for the community who works every day.
So you have a full day then on Saturday?
No, it's always a shorter day because nobody comes in the
Okay.
afternoon. So it'll be 10 to 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then let's move on to Motorized Trail. Anybody have any?
The main gal that speaks, she's out sick today, so, the trails are themselves okay, but there's a lot of ice damage, branches down, so, a lot of blockage, so they're gonna have to do, quite a bit of work to get those open. I know there's 2 resorts open on the flowage, and it's Deerfoot and Johnson's Resort, otherwise it's pretty minimal, everything else is closed. I know the other lakes are open for gas and food, so that's basically.
How is the ice safe?
So far, so good, yeah.
Other than the branches that are down, you have plenty of snow?
Yeah, yep. Kathy, the one that's out sick, she went riding yesterday and Saturday, and she said there are trees completely down and a lot of branches, so it's almost, there's several spots that are just impassable. But they're on it and they're working on it already.
Committee, have any questions? Anybody? Stacy? Brian?
I was just gonna make a comment that I got my crews out there on the also snowmobile trails today because, you know, like everywhere else around here, we got pounded with ice, and so we have a lot of trees that, and so I just want to let them know that we're on it as far as the LCO trails.
Great, I'll let them know that.
So Brian, who cuts the branches for you guys out on the res?
Well, as far as the snowmobile trails goes, it would be also conservation. So it'd be my guys that go out there.
So will that be done this week yet?
Well, right now they're out there. I sent them out there this morning to assess how bad it is. So we don't, you know, it's hard to say without, until they get back and tell me how bad it is.
Yeah.
So we'll be on it though.
Good, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Okay, so going on then to non-motorized, I've sent you a little report of the Book Divider. It's a great event, had over 13,000 racers. Thank God the week weather-wise was when it was, not yesterday. But it was probably the best rookie ever as far as numbers, crowds are concerned. The main street was full and an extra day. So they went from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it would be nice to know what the economic impact of that rookie is, but I don't know how we do that, but it would be interesting. Okay, moving on then to the Historical Society. I don't,
Yeah, I'm here.
you have a report?
Yeah,
Okay.
the main thing I want to report on is there's a high school student, senior, named Ashton Strand, who decided for a project he would do a fundraiser for the museum. And he wrote letters to all number of businesses in Hayward. He put us on GoFundMe, even donated $50 himself. Now, it's not over yet, but as of February 24th, he has raised $20,575 for us.
That's wonderful. GoFundMe is amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Has he earmarked those funds for a certain purpose or?
We have no funding, you know, so we're on our own to raise money. But we are planning, we need to replace a part of our wheelchair ramp. We need a new security system and just everyday expenses.
Do you have any grants available for you guys to apply for?
Do we have what?
Grants?
Ashton's grandmother, Jackie Strand, is writing a grant for us. We never had anybody that could write grants, but she does that. So she's writing one for us now with ARP.
Good, thank you. All right, committee, you have any questions at all? Stacy?
No.
Okay, Thomas, you're quiet over there. What, any new county we should hear about?
Well, not necessarily, but I do want to say, since this is my last Economic Development Committee meeting, Friday is my last day. Mike Keefe will be interim director until they select a new director. So if you have any questions, Mike's your man. Again, thank everybody in the room here. I think out of our $40 million budget, the people in this room usually take the brunt of a lot of the questions and whatnot. So thank you for persevering and providing the services that you do to the county. It's been great working with you guys. And good luck.
Well, Brian, Thomas, if you feel lonesome and you're retired, feel free to come back.
I will, yeah.
We'll keep a seat for you.
Thank
Always
you.
warm. Okay, anybody else have anything we should bring up? Stacy,
No,
Brian?
just well done, Sawyer County.
Brian, anything you want to mention, Brian?
No, not really.
Okay, then I think we're adjourned. Drive safely home. Back to work. Good job. Are you coming?